All right, my friends, welcome here to the Date Your Wife podcast. Well, I'm here with my wife who has failed the 30-day sex challenge. We just wanted to update you on that.
Well,
Want to talk about your failure before we get started with our guests?
No, our last show, he was like, let's make a challenge to have sex for 30 days straight. And I think we made it 2 days.
Okay, so let's start back on the fact that you started the challenge and you ended the challenge.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't going to work.
Okay, well, in the spirit of challenges, we have an amazing couple here from Dubai. Probably the biggest, coolest wedding I've ever seen on social media. Much bigger than our wedding and much cooler than our wedding. Of course, back in the day when we did get married, we had no money. We were broke and I was doing nothing. I was going to be a server at a restaurant and be a PE teacher. Long time from then, we have never had a professional athlete on the show besides myself.
Okay.
This is our first time playing for the Real Madrid. We also have a superstar in the house today. His partner in crime, also our second Real Housewife on the show. No, third.
The third, yeah.
Third, though you were familiar with them from California, but we have one of the Real Housewives of Dubai here. This is a power couple bringing us an extraordinary conversation today with a whole bunch of dynamic twists. Welcome Caroline and Sergio to the show. Oh, hello, you guys all the way from Dubai. How are you today?
Great. Thank you for having us. Nice to be with you.
Yeah, very excited to be here too. So Sergio, tell me, when did your Instagram game really kick in? Because this is what the listeners want to know. You have skills on the Instagram and you had skills on the field. How have you been able to play this game of being a supportive Instagram husband? All of our listeners are constantly wondering about this.
Actually, it really kicked in when I met Caroline, to be honest, but I always been been a fan of social media. I love, I'm passionate about creating content. I love like perspective and angles, and so that's really my passion. And I think that's kind of like why I love doing what I do.
We studied
When you were playing professionally, like was the camera ever in your hand? Did you ever participate with the camera in your hand? Were you doing social media at the time when you were playing, or was that everybody else's where cameras were on top of you?
No, I was never doing that. But I think I got a degree in international business. Then I focused on digital marketing and media and global communication. So that was my master's, and that's why I think that's where the passion comes from and how I learned to kind of do what I do.
Okay, Caroline, how did you snatch up this?
How'd you get meet?
Talk to us about how you two first met. Who saw who the first time? Did you see him playing?
No, I've never seen him playing because I was 43 and getting divorced, and I had 3 children. They were like 9 and 12 at the time. I got twins, and I was doing a live podcast with a whole load of women in Newport Beach, and he was in the audience.
I wasn't meant to be there.
wow.
Someone invited me, and
On a date.
yeah.
So you were sitting in the audience while she's on their show, and you're watching her. So you didn't see him first.
We kind of clicked in the beginning, but then ended up staying. She was talking, and
But I saw, they say picture the audience naked. I was always up.
You're like, I want to see that body naked. Okay, so Sergio, you're sitting in the audience. You're seeing Caroline up on the show. She's doing the show. What are you thinking? Are you thinking right out of the gate, oh my God, this one's it. I've got to go get her? Or were you what?
Yeah,
Talk
I
to
was
me about
like-
what you were thinking.
I think there was something that clicked on me a little bit, and I was like, oh my God, we were kind of like looking at each other, from far, and I was like, wow, this is weird. And then, it's just very funny how everything, I ended up staying 3 hours until the show finished, and then at the end I was leaving, and she said out loud, oh my God, my future husband is leaving. She said to me that.
Oh.
No, you did not. Did you actually feel that, Caroline? When you saw him and connected with the audience, were you feeling that with him?
Well, I thought it was hot. I was making a joke. There goes my friend.
Who knew that landed?
Yeah, this came out.
So who asked who out first? Like you saw this, the connection happens on the show. You make the comment. Sergio asked you out.
I had
Okay.
to.
That
Yeah.
night?
Mm-hmm.
No, really?
He's like,
And- Drove 6 hours to take me out. He's like, yeah,
I did some crazy stuff.
crazy.
In the beginning, earlier stage in the relationship, there was like so many. I had to push because imagine I was 24, and I lied to her in the beginning. I said to her I was 33, then I went down to 28, and then 24. So I knew I had to just really put the big pants on to push.
Okay, so Caroline, he's younger than you. How old is your oldest child? You have teenagers? We have teenagers too.
Yeah, my oldest is 19.
Okay.
That's just turned 30.
So
Okay.
imagine.
So you're in the pocket on this age-wise. You're in kind of that gap. What's your mind thinking, Caroline? Had you dated somebody this young before?
Hell no. No, I wasn't planning on dating someone this year. I mean, I've always been, I was married for 18 years. I wasn't planning on dating anyone. I was planning on having some fun. I actually
Yeah.
just thought to be some fun. I thought he was 31 and I thought that would that. But when we got to 24, I was just like, no fucking way. No way.
Did you guys know there was that big of an age gap? Like, you're right when you met him?
Well, I mean, I came on stage and said, I'm 43, divorced with 3 kids. So,
Somehow I didn't listen, but then, we started to get to know each other, and, she never really asked my age, until I think we were 3 months in.
he looks older with the
Yeah.
beard. When he shaved for the first time, I actually had a connection.
She was like, oh,
I had to put it back on somehow. Well, come out. It
Like,
was
you got weird,
awful.
hurry.
I have the
No.
opposite problem, Sergio. My wife always wants me to shave my beard off because she thinks.
So when we're up, we're only 7 years apart, but when he has a big beard and it's gray, people think we're more like 15 years apart. And I'm like, babe, you need to shave your beard.
No, she's just worried about feeling like a sugar baby.
Well, we live in the Middle East, and there's no one this way round.
Yeah.
There's always younger women, older men.
Yeah.
it's very rare in this part of the world to have like a younger husband, and older wife.
So, Sergio, knowing that you were going down the path of doing something that's against the Middle Eastern way of going for an older woman, what was it you were feeling about her that had you say, not only I'm putting the big man pants on, I'm going to pursue this amazingly beautiful older woman? Like, what was going on in you? Because you could have, I mean, you got options, bro. You're a good looking man. You're a professional soccer player. You got an amazing smile. You fucking can dance. I watched that on the Instagram. I saw it.
I'm
What,
not.
like-
Oh my god, I'm the worst dancer in the planet, probably. But yeah,
Bro, I was
The
giving
only
you credit.
and can't dance.
yeah. I mean, you're not far from that. But
Well, he dad
Yeah, no.
dances, so
yeah.
So
No, but
what was going on in you that had you say, "Hey, listen, this is I'm getting this one. I'm hunting her down. I want
Yeah.
this woman." What
I-
knowing the age gap, knowing you had options everywhere. She had options, you had options, but this was like the option for you.
honestly, I had no idea as he was living in Dubai at the moment. I didn't know anything. I was living in Newport Beach in California. She was staying in LA and Newport between both of them. And, I just didn't know anything about herself, nothing, And I mean, she said she had 3 kids, but I didn't really, it didn't click on me, to be honest. I thought she was 33 years old, this like, cute, good looking girl. And I think we had some, very unique connections from the beginning. And, I didn't really know where I was going. I was just going with the feelings until I got to the point that all the time, I don't know, I came back to Madrid with 3 kids already grown up, my girlfriend at that moment, and my parents were like, oh my God, like, what is happening here?
that was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, right. So
I
that
was
was
gonna say, how did your family feel about it? Were they like, what are you thinking? Is this crazy? Or did they see
my
like
God, it
the
was crazy.
connection?
Yeah.
No,
Us-
this is crazy.
I mean, I think we made news everywhere. It was a crazy thing, like I was a toy boy, like sex slave. They called me everything, literally in the planet. And then my mom cried, my dad even, it was very funny because he offered, he said, look, I bet you $50,000 that by September you're not together, because he was a bit crazy. And then, I said that on an interview. So then all the news, it was like, dad offered him money to leave Cougar or something, so there was so many rumors and things happening. But I think at the end of the day, it made us so strong together, and we became so close to each other because it felt like everybody was against us.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you tune out the noise? You have family members, culture, like everything is just on you guys all the time. How do you tune out the noise and stay connected?
Well, I mean, I've been on TV over 10 years. I did Ladies of London as well. So I run businesses. I had a very big business then. I'm always used to be talked about. So I really don't care. Tomorrow was moved for him, and he was in Real Madrid.
I need
So-
some soccer. I always have the kind of the spotlight somehow. So everybody talks all the way, but I don't know. I think I always take it as something that's strong in me and just push out there, and I think that's what I did. I didn't listen, just go with it, and then
If he hadn't been so committed, I would have 100% given up.
concept.
Yeah, we have a friend that's on Orange County Housewives, and she's new to the season, and she's like, I have a hard time ignoring it. And I'm like, well, I'm sure like within time, she's like, we have to decide all the time, like what battles we're going to fight and what ones we're not. Do you guys ever find like if somebody says something really nasty or you're like, no, I'm not going to be quiet on this one. Do you ever find like you need to even entertain that or you just like, whatever?
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it happened on a daily basis. To be honest, with our post on Instagram, we post, everywhere. We are so exposed. Our life is so public that at the end, it's just part of our life. You like it, just join the ride. If not, ta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that piece of exposure is new for a lot of couples, right? So you get couples like yourselves and Danielle and I get all our life is online. Everybody sees our shit. They find out about our 3-year-old whose favorite word is motherfucker right now. And she flips everyone off. She's learned how to flip everyone off. So now the nannies are trying to teach her how to wind it back in so we can
Yeah.
try to corral it a bit. So
That's
in that
yeah.
place of exposure, like most couples are not willing to be exposed. What would you say for you two as a couple, knowing that the world is seeing you and everything you're doing and they're watching everything you're doing? How does that actually help you two as a couple? Because a lot of couples think that being exposed or being seen for the full truth of their lives is a problem, that we've experienced the opposite. But how do you think all that pressure has actually brought you closer with all the shit talking and people running their mouths?
Well,
Caroline, what do you think?
we feel the same. Like it kind of brings us closer because we have such a tight bubble, and there's not really anything that anyone can say that would affect us like that. We really genuinely don't care. I've been in a marriage, first of all, being on TV as long as I have in something like Bravo and Housewives, right? And on Ladies of London, you have all these little keyboard warriors that will look up anything and everything on you. So if you have shit, it's coming out.
100%.
My shit,
They dig in everywhere. Yeah.
my shit's already out. Like
Yeah.
anything that's there is there. So there's nothing to expose. He was 24 and when I met him, and since then he's been in training since he was, 15 at Real Madrid. So other than go to camp and maybe sleep with a few women, what else is coming out? It's
Yeah.
also okay. So we're very comfortable with all our skeletons, thank God.
I think as far as the foundation that you have together is very strong and very clean and transparent, it's gonna build you up, and you can only grow together.
It's probably kind of freeing. You're like, we're already exposed. What else? What more are you
Yeah,
gonna say? A lot of
exactly.
people kind of like can't share that side with their business or whatever it is, and they kind of like have these skeletons, and you're like, fuck it, let's take. It's on the table. Like, what else? What else am I gonna do? How do your kids feel about it? Like, was it weird for your kids, like knowing you were with a younger man, or were they always good with it?
At the beginning, they loved him. Then they found out that we were dating, then obviously had a heart attack.
It was very funny because they used to say, "Oh my God, that soccer player friend, he's amazing. He's so fine. He's so nice." And all the time when they know, I became, that person in their lives, who was now replacing not the, that, like someone who was with the mother. It was a big thing, and they, it was very tough, to be honest. During, I would say, 6 to 8 months, it was very tough. And then when they realized I was there to stay and I was there just to support them, in a way, they were very happy.
So when coming into the role as husband, boyfriend is fiance, husband, and now you have these children that are in your life. Like I have tons of my friends as well, tons of my clients that have gone through divorces or situations and they're coming together with another woman and she has children and now they get to play this interesting role. Because is their father still in the scene with the kids or no, Caroline? Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
So again, that was some of our friends just yet from yesterday. We're hanging out, like coming over. Same situation. Some of the kids leave to go be with dad, but then they have the kind of the job together. How has that, Sergio, been for you, being as young as you are and coming into it, knowing you got these kids who are going to look up to you as a father figure? You're not their father, but you kind of are in a role of father. Like, what's that mentally been like for you? Because a lot of men are facing this right now, with just rising divorce rates, particularly here in the U.S., and like new relationships coming together with blended families. But what have you found for yourself? I mean, explain a little bit, go a little bit deeper in that for you.
So I'm very family oriented. I'm Spanish, Latino, we have a big family, and for me everything is our family. And I understood if I wanted to, create something with Caroline, the first thing I needed to do before her, it was giving in any way I could love to, her kids. Because that was just, that's the priority for her, before me. And I understood that very early. So I went through a lot. It was kind of like punching a wall, because it was just, as much as I give, but I don't get anything back because it's just the role, I played for them until they understood I was there to stay. But, I never really, I never really asked for anything. I was just always supporting. It was very difficult for me because I was, I wanted to be cool as a, let's say older brother, but also I wanted to get the respect from them, as an adult. So it was
Right.
just very good for the age gap because they never really, it would have been so different if I would be 50 years old. But, I was 23, 24. So it was a very big thing. Now they get to the point and they, they understood the role I played and they respected. But I never really. I was just there supporting them all the time.
So would you guys have kids together?
So we did IVF and we have a baby boy on ice ready to go, but we are thinking about it, to be honest. We don't know what's gonna happen. I kind of want it because I love kids, but I know that our life will change a lot. Because
So just in
now,
case you go unfrozen.
yeah,
I love how you said that we got a little guy on ice. He's ready to go. He's just sitting in the. We actually looked at a surrogate on it. So we have 4 daughters together, and her third pregnancy was so rough with our 5-year-old that we actually looked into that for the last one.
And then I accidentally got pregnant. So I was like, well, I guess we're doing it again.
Yeah.
oh wow.
So, is this like Caroline? Where you at with this? You ready? You ready to have another baby with a surrogate?
Well, I'm 49 in April, and I kind of feel like I've done it, and mine are leaving, and I can't wait to help. Not in a bad way, but it's like, life is good right now. So, and I love having them at home. My son's at home, my daughter. But, I love my life with him and travel and
It's not easy because now, the kids go 1 week with the father and then 1 week with us. The week they go with the father, normally,
go back to a baby.
we travel,
Yeah, it's starting over.
I'm like, oh my God.
we have so much freedom.
Yeah.
If you see our schedule from now to the next 4 months, I mean,
Yeah, we're going to like Monaco, the bees, abode, the
there's
Paris, London, we're gone.
everywhere, the US, everywhere. So it is, in Bali. So our life is very crazy in that way. Like, and that really keeps us going and, brings us back to be,
Miami,
could be like, I don't know how we met, which was like a wild ride. So having a little guy, a little
Yeah.
kid, you will change
Just
things. But
it just adds to the story, Just adds to the story.
Well, it's-
We joke around all the time because we have teenagers and then we had an 8-year gap and then we have toddlers. I'm 42. He's almost 49. And I'm always like, you did this to us. Like, I feel like I've been changing diapers for like 20 years. I'm like, and I'm still going. So like, I get it. I'm like, I'm getting tired. I don't know. Like it literally was like starting over for us. But I mean, and now I'm like, I love him to pieces. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But it is a shit show at our house most days.
Yeah.
It would definitely
And I
change.
can live without the shit show. I mean, I'm just getting through it. And I'm thinking,
but we will have one. We'll have, but eventually we'll have.
Hey, listen, I don't doubt it, Sergio. You hunted her down. You said you saw her in the audience. You're like, I already can tell. You're like, when you decide it's
somehow,
happening.
even if I say no, that little embryo is going to end up in a surrogate. So
It will be here in the next podcast we do in a couple of years. So don't worry.
Yeah. There you go.
Listen, you're rolling apart too. Like it's so different now.
Yeah, you have so much help.
Crew with you to
Yeah.
run with you around everywhere.
And
We've
here in
got some
Dubai,
friends
heavily, it's amazing. Like it's so much easier here. So
Yeah.
How long have you guys been married?
we've been married now, 4 years almost.
4 years? Okay.
The wedding looked like off the charts. Where was the wedding at?
raffles and
In the Pine.
in the prom.
Oh man,
amazing.
but
Uh,
looked
they
just-
amazing.
Really, it was like it's a palace, and it was honestly, it was just a dream, to be honest.
How many people were at the wedding?
No, nothing.
How like 50 and 60, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. Because it was like everybody was so done up. I was like, oh, dude, this is a serious wedding.
Oh,
And-
and I really wanted it to be my first wedding. I had over 700, so I really
wow.
wanted a small wedding.
So we
Yeah.
had like 2 weddings, one in Mauritius, where we signed legally the papers, and that was in an island, just,
We were married in the Four Seasons in Mauritius and the water.
it was in the
We
same.
were both.
It was 10 people, and then we did like the kind of like a show wedding a bit bigger.
Bridezilla.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you determine, going as fast as you are, how do you two determine as a couple who you allow into your inner circle? right? Because we have all this attention, all these people, everybody wants shit, and people always have angles with you. And we're constantly facing this too, which is like scrutinizing, yes, like who we bring in, who we don't bring in, who we allow into the inner sanctum of the actual tribe with us. How do you two both, and this is a question for both of you, and Sergio, I'll start with you. Like, how do you determine who you're gonna let into? And I mean like in relationship with you two, like an intimate way, not just like, hey, I know you, let's do some pictures, let's do some business, you're good, I'm good. But how do you
And
determine who gets invited into that?
I used to be much more open, I would say, with that kind of like just allowing people into our inner circle. But then I think I have this sense of I kind of read people a little bit from the beginning, and I think I'm much tougher than Caroline. Caroline is more like a social butterfly. She really, everybody we kind of just, and then I kind of, I'm a bit more selective, like, so I think between both of us, we kind of balance that and but I mean, it's just I mean, it's like anything, like some people, everybody goes with that good open heart to try to just, meet people and open, but sadly there's these people who just want to take, and we are givers, we just give because we love helping people. We love, see people grow. So it's just trying to find a balance over there.
Caroline, how long have you been on the show?
This one, I've done 2 seasons. My last show, I did 4. So total, I've done 6 years on Barber.
Oh wow, okay.
So you figured out the angles of everybody wanting to get a piece of you.
Yeah.
So how do you determine, Caroline, who you let in versus who you
Well,
just?
I mean, look, before I did Housewives, I had a huge business. I had investors, Artemis, the largest fund in Europe, $22 billion under management. I had Carphone Warehouse, I had 87 employees. People always wanted to get to know me. All my clients were, from the Ecclestons to the Gettys to, I know everyone because of it. Every single big name used to come to me. Like Dubai, everyone lands, they call us. They're literally us. So, there isn't a famous person that doesn't land and call us, whether they know us or not. So I've got a lot better, but a lot of times, we're also, Dubai's small. We're very, very well known. When I moved here, there weren't any famous people. Other me and Lindsay Lohan were the only two. So I've been here a long time. I built a very big network reputation here. So anyone that wants to do business or whatever, they always call me. So look, I've learned how to do business here, and it's not easy. I've learned who I let in and who I want to. Everyone says, do you want to meet this person or that person? I always say no now, but no, I'm not.
We don't really see honestly new people. That's the truth.
I don't need new friends. I've got quite a lot. And I've got very powerful friends in all the right places. So luckily, I'm pretty good on that. So no, I don't really let anyone in here.
Dubai is very different than the US. Dubai is only 55 years old, so there's just,
And we've been here 12 years. So, I've been here 12 years. So I literally know everyone. So, for me to walk people straight in places, that's why they're cool. I'm fully aware of it now.
Got it. How do you, with all the attention, all the things you're doing, what do you two do to carve out time with each other, away from cameras, away from kids, away from media? Like, what does that look like for you two to just have you time, nobody else?
We travel.
Travel is
all the time.
it's what really, brings us together. We go a lot to Maldives, I mean, Indonesia, Thailand. We really love.
So during whale diving and in November, we were on a boat for the summer. We travel and travel and travel.
We do safari, lots of fun things that, now
We're trying Himalayas, Tibet, there was no phone.
no one knows us, and we are just isolated. So it really brings us together.
We spend all our time together. So we don't, don't get in our so.
When you're in that alone time, Sergio, what are some of the critical topics that you guys discuss? Like things as a couple where like these are the repeating themes of things we're either working on or things we're excited about.
I mean, we're very driven, both of us. So, we, somehow, business always comes to the table. So we just, it's a very good reflection time to see where we are, to see where we want to go, but also to analyze the picture and see, what are we doing right, what should we change, and, I mean, we really love what we do. So to be honest, it's not really like, a disconnect time,
Do you guys ever fight, or are you still on like the newlywed stage?
Oh, no.
No, I fight, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we always have like our common themes. I'm like, we're really circling back on this again.
Yeah. What are the things that cause in your relationship? What are the topics that create the collisions? Like, what are the conversations? Because when you're on a business together
Yeah.
and then you're spending all the time together, inevitably things get, but for us, it crosses up too. That's why we had to separate both of our brands and our businesses, and what we kind of come together in concept together now. And I run my businesses and she runs her companies, and we kind of have this in between because we tried it together for years and we couldn't figure it out.
We're both trying to
Yeah.
be the boss.
Yeah, we both couldn't be the boss. It was too much
Weirdly,
collision.
we don't argue about business.
Yeah. The most important thing is that we figure out what roles we do best, and we know what we do. So we
Yeah.
bring it together to the table. But then with business, we don't really fight any for companies. It's more about just the age difference. Obviously I'm
Plus healthy. If I go out and with the girls or whatever, I want to go and get absolutely batshit wasted at Yasko not easy. And that drives him nuts because he thinks I'm gonna die. Change. He's like, then I can't live, he's like, he thinks literally I'm gonna die. And then that's a big one.
Nah, but I'm very passionate about life and about doing things. And Caroline is more like the city. Obviously, is so much older, so she's done pretty much everything in life. So it's just a bit of like go, and she's more like she wants to
I
relax.
like my afternoon nap.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, I tease him all the time, like every Sunday. I'm like, is it 2 p.m.? Is it your nap time, babe?
no.
Yeah, when a 3.
Yeah.
She says that to me, makes fun of me on the beach as she sleeps until 8:30 in the morning while I run our toddlers from 6 a.m. hardcore in the paint until 2 p.m. And then she's like, oh, I'm laying at the beach and why are you tired? I was like, you sat around, had drank a mimosa and tried on shoes all morning. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so spiritual path, God, source, energy. What is this for you, Caroline?
Well, my mother is Church of England and my father is Jewish. So I'm not the most religious person. I believe that there is something and everybody looks to the same actually. And I believe that we all have something that we need to be. And I love energy, I love manifestation with these kind of things and gratitude. So we do a lot of that. I'm not praying to God every day, but he does.
I'm Catholic. I'm very
Very Catholic.
very Catholic, and I believe everything happened to me in my life. It was because I mean I believe in God a lot. I try
Carries the rosary everywhere with him.
to go to the church when I can and stuff,
Yeah.
and
And then he married the drinking, sloping body and art.
He went and found his wild one.
yeah.
Listen, Sergio, this is how it rolls for us too. Cause so I'm very, very deep in my faith with Christ and very deep in my belief in God for me. And she's the Buddhist one that worships the agave gods, AKA tequila. So, but we have like this fun relationship where I'm the one like you, where I'm like, hey, can we
You gotta
reel it in? Party star over here. And she'll like go off the rails with her girlfriends. And then I'm like, okay.
He does the same thing. He's like always super concerned, and I'm like, hey, like I'm fine. Worry about you. Like, but I grew up very like
it drives me nuts. No one wants to wake up in the morning and be reminded of anything. Like we're in a good time. Like worry about you.
yeah. Don't make us feel guilty. Like with
It's only when I have to pick you up and carry you out of the car to the bed.
that's every once in a while. That's just the sign.
Yeah,
of a good-
agreed. Like he talks as if it's like every fucking day. Even if it was every other week, it should still be fine.
No, we only live once. You only live once.
The athlete minds, bro. I got you. We're like, what do you get focused? We'll be up at 4 o'clock. What time do you wake up, Sergio?
Very early. I love early morning. Yeah,
Not 4 a.m.
not 4 a.m. but I mean like I don't know, like 6. Yeah, 5 times
Okay.
every.
Caroline, what
Yours-
time is-
He wakes up at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning. I'm like, that's the middle of the night. And then he
No
gives me
way.
crap because I
We
wake up
haven't
at
got
like
to bed
7:30.
yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what
Our
time do you go
teenagers.
to bed then?
I go to bed about 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
That's about 5 hours, 4.5 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't
Yeah,
need a lot of
same.
sleep correction.
The problem with us is we are out a lot because business and everything. So it's a bit difficult for a lot of dinners and things. So a lot of people, talking about the drinking. A lot of people go out and they just drink once a week. The problem is we are out every day, so we have to kind of like find a balance on with the
Yeah.
healthy lifestyle and also trying to just maintain our social life. So it's you know,
I was gonna say it's hard. Like we've had a few times where we go to events and stuff, and I'm like, my social battery is done. Like I can't go out every single night. How do you guys have seasons where it's just like you have to say no to opportunities, or is it just like constantly going out?
here mainly in Dubai,
Say no to a lot.
we say no to a lot. Yeah, like
The trouble is people visiting.
Yeah.
Then we
Yeah.
feel that we have to see them. Like
Yeah.
every single week,
Yeah.
somebody important is arriving.
they think you
Take down. They think that you're not,
Yeah, and then here
Yeah.
the season is not like in the US. The whole year there's things going on. Here, summer gets very very hot. So
Mm.
let's say November, December, January, it is crazy. There is like
Yeah, it's so
everything
hot.
happening.
Yeah. We've had to say no to a lot in the last since moving to Miami
You
because
kind of feel
everybody.
bad, but then it's like you're like, no, I just need like I don't have the social battery for it. I mean, certain people will say yes to, but yeah, when it gets to the point where, especially in Miami, a lot of people come visit here, so it's like there's always somebody in town. I'm like, I can't.
My
Every
two
night.
best friends are in Miami, and so I'm so excited to see them. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like Dubai. I mean, everything starts here at like 10 o'clock
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah.
We
Well,
found
yeah.
that out real quick. We're like, hey, we're going to dinner. I was like, awesome. What time? 9:30. I was like,
Yeah.
we're
It's like,
talking
go to
about. I
bed.
gotta wake up at 2:30. How are we gonna do this? How's it gonna work out?
Yeah.
So how does the creative side with business? Since you guys have found your roles and how you play, are you actually in business together? Like, is Sergio now part of the brand with you?
Everything
Okay.
together.
Okay, got it. So how did you get to a place where you could divide those roles clearly for each other? Because this is a conflict constantly with couples that are in business together, which is being able to clearly define what those are. It's what we finally defined our roles, which is here's my business, here's yours, and we share executive teams that operate from both sides. But how did you guys get to a point where you could actually clarify, hey, this is what you're doing, this is what I'm doing, and you actually respect each other in those roles? Because there's a ton of crossover we watch happen with hundreds of couples where the war zone over roles and whose ideas what and how to play it together.
I think it's very interesting because luckily for us, we don't really clarify what our roles are. It just it is solved by itself to just Sindra doing her things that she knows best, and I ended up doing my things. So then it kind of just rolls together.
I mean, we brought a few companies together, and they do very different things. Like the women's retreats. Okay, let's
Mm.
just say that, right? He actually cannot come on those
Right.
because the women, but he can do the stuff like
I go all the typical guy behind the
Yeah.
scenes and all of
or the funnels or the taking of the money, doing all of that, writing it, doing all the advertising. Them from then on, it's me, right? My team. So it's pretty clear and easy.
the real estate by sign was, like I for example will be in a hotel in Bali, so all that is my part. She just
I'm not interested. He says.
I do all that. She oversees all that stuff, and then the other way around here,
And here, all the ones here, I like.
sit down as the operation.
I find them, then I renovate them, and then
The cities, the thing from and I
building works, the management, all of that. So we have 5 in construction now. And then, so he will go and like check that all the
I made sure with the guys,
the builders are on time. But I'm just doing, I've done all the decor, I've supplied all the furniture they need, all the, fixtures and fittings, everything that they need, all the plans they need, and he does the rest.
the day-to-day operations on that is the hair, and my day-to-day, for example, is the hotel.
My podcast, right? It goes, I'm run by Dear Media in America, which I'm sure you know there. And I've been with them for 5 years. So I obviously do the podcast, then he does all of it, the clips, the this, the that, the teams do all this, and everything is ready.
I run all the editors, for example, because I love it. We have I run all that.
I never even look at it. I don't even know it's out till the day it's out. I just sit down and do it. So what else do you? My furniture, it was so many things. It's just natural.
We give the roles.
Like if I design the furniture, he's doing the website. Like I don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like the visionary, and he's like the back end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So on that, Caroline, question for you. So you're a powerful woman. You've been creating for a long time. You've created a lot of success. I'm around a lot of powerful women. My wife is one of them. We're around a ton. And there's a level where my experience with powerful women is at some point they want to put the swords down, put the shield down, and be
Yeah.
protected and taken care of by a man or a woman. We had a powerful couple here, same situation. But like it's a game where you're constantly fighting to build. But a moment of being able to just submit into, I don't have to build shit. I don't want to think about shit. My guy can take it from here. How is that dynamic played out with you two, knowing Sergio age, but also coming into a relationship, because this is where we see a lot of rub for a lot of women here in the US too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for me, it's like I can run my business, but also like I'm like, I want you to take care of me. You know, it's like balancing that feminine and masculine role. And it's like,
Well, he does everything.
I
yeah.
literally do
Literally everything. He was out printing all this stuff for me today.
I do everything for her. Like
Everything. Brings my tea.
people think I'm the toy boy, but like literally I run, you know.
I can literally just lie like this, and he puts all the cameras around. He runs.
Caroline, we love Caroline because she's just the princess. Like
He live like that.
she's not it.
Like he literally worships and takes care of me.
But I like it because I have energy and I for me it's about making happy the people.
But I live it. I could say I need a cup of tea and a biscuit money, and he'll go get it.
I hated this morning
Wait,
her
Mike, can
because
you do
she
that for
got me
me?
crazy. That's
No, he'll do anything for me. I'm not worried about that. That's couple.
There you go.
So we got that piece covered.
I want a tea and a biscuit. What the hell?
Sergio's getting me. You're making me look bad right now, Bo.
I was like, we're sweating through my cameras. What?
She's like, hey, get whatever. You ask me for a bottle of water in the middle of the night every night, and I go get it. So there's my tea. I get you some tea in the middle of the night. So how does it go the other direction with Caroline knowing that this is your guy, and
Absolutely.
then he's covering that side?
Nothing for him. I don't even do like
Nah.
cards. Zero. I'm terrible. Actually, it is. I buy your clothes.
there are a few things.
I go and choose clothes.
I do like
Come on, bang.
I don't like I'm not like a spender, I don't like to I have enough things. I mean, we have we don't need anything else. Caroline is all constantly just, oh my god, I need this, like she's the one who spends everything, but she loves it, so I'm fine with that. And then she will do my shopping, she buys things, and all that,
I style. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what all men need is.
We're matching. See? We get dressed together every day.
Sergio, don't worry, bro. I have like the same t-shirts from my brand and the same pants and the same Nike shoes, and I wear them
Thank you.
every day. My closet looks
If
exactly the
we're
same.
going on date night, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to bring you an outfit. So just so
She
you're
does.
listening.
Me too. I don't dress myself.
Like, you don't care.
No, I don't care.
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
you? 'Cause a lot of guys have a hard time with this idea of, because a lot of producing men I know don't care, Sergio, about buying a lot of shit. They'll buy cars and they'll do
You never buy stuff.
planes or do whatever, but like they don't really care. But they have a hard time supporting the buying game. But it's also different with the fact that Caroline produces her own inside of this. Like this is like a very complicated conversation for a lot of couples, which is like, hey, I want to be with you, but you also want to buy all this stuff, and that's great. More handbags, more shoes, more things. I'm with
Are you resentful of the handbags and the shoes? Like at
no,
all?
look, it's
Okay.
part. I mean, sometimes
I collect Hermes.
sometimes I complain because she goes crazy until upset. That's
We're going to Paris now to get one.
we're only flying to Paris to get a bag now. And I'm like, okay, so 8 hours,
Seriously,
9
Mr.
hours,
Russell.
flight tickets, hotels to get a bag. I mean, what's the point? But yeah, she loves it, so it's her passion.
See, babe, Sergio gets it.
Hey, I get it. We were in Paris and I was drinking champagne from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. where you just pot shit for like 9 straight days.
I was like, this is fun for me. Why don't you be happy?
No, you know what? It's a big part of my brand. Okay, I'm on Housewives first of all.
Yeah,
I still do TV. I'm doing TV this year with for the shows and stuff. And I have a certain
it's her business, it's her.
so like right now,
So wait.
clearly, I've got a stylist from Miss England upstairs.
For example, we had a big fight like 2 weeks ago because of this, because someone came from not this to the one. I'm like, it's
And she'd made my lookbook for the whole summer because
crazy.
I don't want to pack. I don't want to do it. I don't want to think about it. I want it done. I'm going to 100 different places.
Oh, there's 80 something pages of her outfit. Do you think this is normal?
This is normal. I'm going to give it to my housekeeper and say, pack this, pack this.
So that is Caroline Stanbury. When you understand that is Caroline Stanbury, then you can work that.
Everyone wants one of those.
Listen, this show is completely burying me right now because now she's seeing you with a playbook. You guarantee you guys again. She's gonna have the playbook now. Sergio, I'm feeling for you.
Like, why didn't I get pictures of my outfits? I don't want to
Fine for you. This is good planting
He
a
has some
seed.
pack, like cow.
Unpack. I give it to my housekeepers. I give her the picture.
Cow like this, like
Happened.
not even the passport. Like she just boy go.
Oh, God, we went on a trip to Bali.
He just goes to the.
And I went all the way to the airport without my handbag, my passport, all my luggage, because I expected him to have it.
She got to the airport after 3 hours and she didn't have anything.
3 hours in the car, I didn't even have my handbag. They thought
So literally, she just goes through life. Like I don't know how she was living with before.
Goes
Like
through
he
life.
goes through life just thinking that like everything behind.
He goes, you have nothing. It was 3 fucking hours away, the airport. And I got there and I'm like, I was flying to do the housewives reunion.
And she was mad at me.
It's acting ill. What the fuck were you about? They leaves the house without their own handbag.
I'm not going.
I doesn't realize.
I'm like, I'm not going. Like you should just take it.
Do you really bring your handbag?
I mean, I don't carry the handbag, but
Hey, that's your job.
yes,
gets-
like, you know,
It gets assumed. Sergio, I'm feeling for you. Listen, once
He's
you
in
start
charge of our passports. Like,
once you start doing something nice, and then they
your
receive it,
pop.
it becomes
Because
normal. And then
they
when
take-
it's normal, they expect it every single time.
he opens the car door for me all the time, and when he doesn't, I find myself just standing there looking at the door worries it's gonna open.
No. Caroline, yesterday, she went to the gym and she texted me and she sent me a photo of her sitting on the co-pilot. And then I'm like, what is she doing?
I have a bright white Bentley, okay? So it's quite flashy around here. So I got into the passenger seat instead of the driver's seat. But there was a man in front of me, so I was too embarrassed to get out. So I just waited there 25 minutes in the passenger seat.
I was
Because I don't drive normally, thinking he's going to leave.
thinking it was coming. And she sent me, we had a whole conversation with photos in the phones. And
And I just sat in this car. I didn't get today, by the way. I'm not used to driving. I don't drive. There was 6 workmen. Like,
Caroline is get used to just rolling through life, like me holding her opening doors, just doing it.
So,
I
so
haven't
listen.
driven for many, many years, and now
Yeah.
he drives. I don't go anywhere without it. It was only to the gym, so I was not used to that car.
I like cars. I don't like drive. You know, driver drive the keys. For me, it's not. You know, I like driving. You know.
Yeah, I go.
So okay.
I don't like to drive in traffic because I usually get a driver when anytime with traffic, but
So does this transfer into your sex and intimacy game? This Sergio
Yeah.
just guides you to do everything.
Well, in the sex, yeah. I mean, actually, the same. She doesn't move. She's like a fucking nightmare. She doesn't do anything. I do everything. But yeah,
still translates to the bedroom.
He's really good at it.
I'm really good actually. I got so good now because I mean, I have to do everything literally. Like, so you know.
This is good though, Sergio. Now all we got to do is we just got to get your playbook. Like she's got her clothing playbook, and then you can hand her the playbook beforehand. Here's where we're going.
I'm sure I would make millions with that.
So this we watch a lot of couples, like a very high volume of couples they go in and out of seasons with sexuality and intimacy. Like, how important is this to you two as a couple? Like, whether you're guiding it, Sergio, and she's just playing along that way. Listen, we and Danielle have had like all kinds of conversation over the year about it. I'm like, hey, listen, I'd like you to participate, which is like, I want you to want me in this, not just be there.
I
Alright.
don't ask for it, yeah.
Yeah. So like for you guys, though, like how do you prioritize it? Because we watch all kinds of couples, particularly busy couples, where they're gone, athletes that are gone during the season, with their spouses back home for like 3-4 months, or they're just busy all the time. Is this a priority? How do you make it a priority?
2 to 3 times a day, it'd be good. That is the problem. That's shit.
I was gonna.
But I can't. I'm 49. He'll kill me out there.
Yeah.
So that
Well, I'm very, you know, I because my professional athlete past, I have a lot of testosterone, so I need that.
Double the amount of anyone. I took him to hospital. I thought he was Viagra because it never went down. And they said, but I did. Someone said to me, it's because he is used to be running all the time and he doesn't do that anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to kill me.
No, so it's very important in our life. And, for example, yesterday we had the craziest sex ever, but, I just,
It's very important.
it's very important.
We solve everything that way.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, if this was like forever with us, this was the whole pass I was trying to explain to her.
I was like,
And
you've been married for 21 years. And I was
Wow,
like, when
that's
is he going to slow down? Like, he still hasn't slowed down.
never.
Amazing.
Well, that's good. No,
No, that's very good.
Yeah.
See,
I don't know. It's good.
A lot
I
of
just,
couples,
it stopped in my last marriage and
a lot of couples, like after, I think, the 10-year break, then,
we're 7 years now together and we're still alive.
Good.
still like,
Yeah. But
it stopped in you said it stopped in your last marriage?
yeah.
Did that create a lot of disconnection and then eventually kind of, was that why?
Well, I think we had just
marriage
young
ended?
kids and more the travel. He was traveling, but you just can't be bothered sometimes. And then the longer you go without it, the less you need it, I find.
Brady.
And that is a dangerous thing to get into. It comes at chore at the end of the day, because let's face it, by the time you've got kids, you're all exhausted and nobody thinks it's amazing then. And every time.
you need to make it special. For me, I think I try to just, make time for it. And even though if I'm tired, I just, because then the once you get into it, it's amazing.
Yes.
But obviously you have very busy schedules, you're tired, and then, so I just
You get bored of it for a minute because then you're like, oh, I'm in for a marathon. You can't bother.
Yeah.
Do and get into it. You're like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah.
So, and also I think our travel is something as well that keeps that really going because there's no kids in the house.
nothing.
Obviously, my sons are 15 years old, and to them, we don't have sex, I think, because so
I'm not under night.
they come walking into the room all the time. They never laugh. They don't see it. I'm not allowed to knock my door, or they go bananas. And so
because we have so many kids, we find like traveling for us is like when you connect the most. Because
Yes.
you're not worried about kids like walking through
Nothing.
the door or knocking or anything. It's
No.
you're just so free.
just
you
on
know?
the plane, you feel so good.
Yes. Yes. Both locations, no stress, no. Well, she doesn't unwind from the kids until we're out of the country, and it's about day number 3. Where like she's all of a sudden this woman that I always knew comes back. By day 4, she forgets she has kids. By day 5, she forgets she has a business. By day 6, I'm like, this is a wild one.
Well, I see that though. I have to like literally like mentally check out from business and kids, and then it allows us to like connect and have fun. But like honestly, people ask us all the time because we have kids in business and everything. I'm like, that's why we travel together. Like it's important to us.
So topic is spin it. I'm gonna spin it again on this. So when it comes to creating a bigger future together, like there's where you are, and no matter how big you've gotten, no matter what you've created, everything becomes normal, right? People find first class normal, jets becomes normal, 5-star, 6-star hotels become normal. Things just get normal, and in normal, there's like this place of creating something bigger together. How do you guys use it during the vacation times? Like, how are you two envisioning bigger future, bigger lives together as you're creating, even though you're already creating so much?
No, we've actually discussed this weirdly last night. I'm just sorry, my son's running, trying to turn it off. We discussed this last night. We don't really want a lot more. We're very, 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 very powerful, rich friends, and I don't think it brings you happiness. It was something my whole life when I was younger I strived, or, the big business. The big business for me when I had $22 billion worth of investors didn't make me happy. In fact, it will get me more problems. To be honest,
And sometimes
we have everything. I don't need another car. I don't need another mouse. I don't really want one to run. And more money, more problems as well. I don't want more staff. Like, no, I don't want. And that gives me hives.
for us, I think it's more about the
The
freedom and for the future.
This is like go and learn a beach.
That's our main goal.
So cool.
Just to have the passive income coming in from different sources, and just to be able to travel.
I do not want to get into anything like that I had before. Don't want. I'm not jealous or any of my friends with the jet, the boat, because you know what? We're on them. And
Yeah.
we're on them, we ride them, they're not our problem. And it's, you know, we're very lucky, we're very blessed, we have very generous, kind friends in our lives. We get amazing stays and traveling
And then,
country.
yeah, at the end of the day, you think, okay, what am I building over this? What am I working so hard for at the end?
With us to have to enjoy each other.
You get sport.
And you get so stressed out, you can't enjoy each other. So no,
You get so stressed. Like,
we're good. Okay.
all these people we know with like 3,000 employees, massive companies, they're
Yeah.
all in so much stress and unhappy, looking and chasing for that big exit. That at the end, when they get there, then
Yeah.
like they realize that
It wasn't
Yeah.
for anything.
it wasn't important. Exactly.
Well, they
And
always feel like money doesn't buy happiness, you know?
No.
It's like you get to this place where
truly doesn't.
And we know so many cases here in Dubai. I mean,
You know,
Yeah.
you've got to understand, we live in the Middle East, right? No
Yeah.
matter how hard you work, you're poor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Over here, come here, you're poor.
Right.
And that is quite refreshing
yeah.
because where you're trying to keep up with the Joneses in the UK or maybe Miami, you cannot do that here.
Yeah.
Anything you
there's
have
too much-
here, the next is gonna be bigger.
Bigger, way bigger,
So
right? So, like, you're never going to be able to compete. And that makes you just go, you know what? I'm not going to.
yeah. So you are human. It made you realize that the chasing of something is not really, there's not really nothing you're chasing.
Yeah.
It's about your inner goal and your peace and like having the freedom.
The most expensive thing I think I ever bought was freedom and peace inside. I don't wake up with worry. I was sued for 8 years. I don't have anything like I won everything, right? Not quite, but I mean, I have dealt with all that shit. I'm never going back into the corporate world. I'm never going back into the place where I need investors. I am never going to.
And
We fund everything ourselves, bring control of everything.
we decide that we are only gonna get involved in business that we can control by our stuff. And I think that was the thing that we decided 5 years ago. And nowadays, if I feed money to Bali, I'm gonna build the hotel. If not, I'm not gonna build it.
If
Everything.
one land food, we can't afford to pay the hotel in Bali, we stop.
It's
The much breathing down on it.
I don't I don't care. I don't want and we got always people throwing money to these like with these these projects and we don't want it. We don't need it. Like nothing is gonna change if you give me 100 billion now cash because it's even
That's
nothing.
fucking carbon. I can't.
Nothing will change. And I think when you get to that point in life, you realize that there's not really anything to chase anymore. It's about more just
We're so chill. We want to take the day off. We take the day off.
And if you guys keep that, that's what will keep you connected. Because
Yeah.
I think that a lot of couples miss the mark on that and they're always chasing something bigger to be 10 years down the road to realize they're disconnected than what they were
Now
looking
you're up. Well, that's exactly what I had in my first marriage. And the way he ran a huge fund for a very, very big person. And we had the massive house. And we had the Bravas, the drivers, the this, the that. I live in a house, half the size now. I'm very happy. I use every room. It is my dream home. I could not be happier. I get hives when I see those giant mansions. I don't want it. I know what happens in them. The staff you need, the rooms that break down, the electricity, the bills to run them, the stress of it, just so I can look good to my friends. Who are assholes anyway.
So listen, like what the point you two are making right now, like our listeners, I'm gonna pause this. I want you to hear this. And it's almost impossible for most of you in the pursuit right now to actually grasp what they're saying. Because until you have the capacity to go do it, you're going to live in the delusion that that is going to create this freedom that they're talking about. So you have Sergio, who's competed at the highest level in soccer as an athlete. You have Caroline, who's produced and competed at the highest level in business. And now you have a couple together coming to you, trying to speak truth into your fucking worlds of please pursue freedom. And freedom doesn't come if you're building everything and you lose the person that you're with.
Or
And
that
this
you
is-
are. You lose the person that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a massive house in Orange County and everything kept breaking down, like everything, like it was like a small hotel. And I looked at Garrett and I was like, this house is not worth it. That's how we ended up in Miami. I was like, I don't care about the cars and the house and the shit. I'm like, this is too overwhelming. Like I'll burn it all. I don't care. I want to be connected with you. It's causing too much stress in our marriage. And so literally like I came to him one night and I was like, let it go. And we decided like Miami, well, like
They're gilded cages for people.
100%.
I am the happiest. I'm the happiest in this house. And instead, all I'm doing is buying apartments and renovating them and putting them on the market for Airbnb and things like that. I don't need a bigger house. Why? My kids are leaving. Like, it's fantastic. I could not ask for more. We don't need 2 cars. I mean, I do for my kids, but we have our own car. But like, I don't need another sports car. We go everywhere together.
Yeah.
Yeah. This reality is very difficult. We wouldn't have understood it until we had it in the same decision for us. Was like just the weight and the pressure of the game of continually building. And it's like there's still this drive to build.
Right.
And by the
create.
way, let me put it this way. The bigger, as we all know, when you get to a business, so we're doing $10 million a year, whatever it is, plus, right? I got to 10 million pounds a year, so whatever that is, and dollars. I don't know.
14 million, something like that.
Anyway, so you're looking around this. It's not going to make my life less stressful. It makes it a shit ton harder. It means I have more HR, more staff to hire, and then you can't get off. How am I going to get off? You have to ask people if I want to go on holiday. You've got money. You're spending over $1 million a month to keep it working. So you have to keep that business going. I'm like, what the fuck have I done to myself so that I can be on the front cover of a magazine? Like, I don't understand. That's why I started. It was all ego. And like now I'm like, thank the fuck.
Like, you literally tell me now, go to the beach or go to whatever. I just literally I repeat anything that
I make just as much money by myself as I did with 86 people.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Net to me. And I don't have the headache.
Yeah.
it's all ego.
And it's all ego. And when you understand that and what you're building, be very fucking careful, because that is a machine you won't be up to.
5%. As soon as it's running, then you cannot just control it and stop it.
Danielle last year got to that point with her hair brand.
Yeah.
Because he's done some really big stuff in hair extension world, or hairlines, hair products, and her training academies. And she finally came to me, I think it was like September.
I just was like, I don't care. I'll let it all go. Like I want this freedom back. Like the money's not worth this, having this sense of freedom. Yeah.
She really got rid of, I think, 450 partners, got rid of all of her executive teams and cut it down to her hairline and a couple.
Another thing.
It's hard because it feels like you're letting go of your identity.
It does, but then you get over it. It does. But you trust me, when you get over it, you get over it. And I realized that, again, that was my perception of how people
saw you.
Obviously I failed in their eyes or whatever. I didn't fail. Like, this is the best thing that fucking happened to me.
Yeah.
I would not go back. Do you know how many partners people want to partner with me, want to invest in me? I will never look at a fund, ever. No funds. I get approached by funds all the time. I'm like, keep the money. I would rather go very slowly. And I'm not interested in getting anything big. There's no, I don't need the glam. I've done it.
Yeah,
and
you don't want to put yourself in
very
that
happy.
situation.
Well, you two are,
You don't want to put yourself back in that situation. You're like, I did
Never.
it.
Never. I'm 49 years old. We have so much fun together.
The fun thing, what that really kills the excitement and the happiness of our life, and how responsibility, like delegated, like
Our third Airbnb, just got 5. We bought 5 since November, and our first Airbnb went on the market, and we did everything ourselves. We were in there, and just reading all the comments of the people that sitting. We haven't had one. We couldn't even take a photograph of it yet because it's never been empty. And we're having so much.
It's so fun.
And we're having such a giggle, and then it's everyone's going, oh, is it 1? And I'm like, yeah, it was 1. And I'm like, but it might be a tower. And now, in less than 5 months, actually, it really is. Like, I'm by the wall. I'm saying I'm building
a tower.
Like, I don't know how it's happening, but I'm having so much fun doing it.
Yeah,
and I've
you're
got
not stressed
no
about
one
it.
to answer to. No one. Except for bank.
Isn't that but isn't that crazy though? Now that you have like this time's freed up, then you have more opportunities that just kind of happen because you can see them.
Yes.
You two have become a shining light on this show. Like, with like the points that we got, I told you we get to the place. Like, everybody has like their angle and their message on the show that we uncover, and what you nailed, both of you nailed in the last like 10 to 15 minutes. Like, this was the crucial piece, because there's so many high producing, stressed out couples tens of thousands of them in our student base and couples all over the US and Europe that are pursuing and pushing, trying to get to this place, but they've not gotten to the place yet in their mind. The crazy part is they're never going to get to the place in their mind. And you two are an example
it's
of
just
this.
such a person. You have a eureka moment. Like, shoes and clothes, okay, I do still buy, but I don't care about jewelry at all. Don't care about cars.
Same.
I love to buy property, but that's an asset.
So I was talking to my friend yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, we're doing our watches, and he has like over 60 watches, like 30 Rolex. He doesn't even like, it's even worth it." I'm like, like that's when you lose, the whole perception of everything. Like
The joy's gone.
the joy is gone. But yeah, exactly. It's happened with Kai.
You're-
Haven't you know?
Do your kids see that you're happier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I'm like, and they come and they see it and like I don't have to be anywhere,
Yeah. Love it.
You two have been amazing. We appreciate you dealing with the technology issues we had in the beginning. And I'm happy for you two.
Thank
Like
you.
I am.
No, you guys are very like real and genuine.
You've got a great rhythm. You both two together. And Sergio, you're holding your own with this powerful woman, my man.
No,
You're
man.
doing,
Yes, he
you're
is.
doing great.
He does.
And
Like
I'm happy for you two. I know that they're
he puts me as
Yeah.
good. What? Just remember, you've got the new strategy in hand, which is now you got to make your bedroom playbook. So we're just gonna. She's got the clothing playbook. You got your bedroom playbook.
But how
we're
with the
just gonna bring
hair?
out- Yeah.
Just don't let the kids find those papers.
That would be my homework.
Well, we'll have all of your social links here with the show for this week. Also, anywhere else besides social media right now to follow you two? Is there any direct places you'd like them to go?
YouTube,
Social media.
social media, Caroline Stanbury, YouTube, obviously, Housewives and Ladies of London are all on Apple TV. If you want to watch the shows. And that's about it.
All right.
Well, you two have been amazing. Do appreciate you being here. And thanks for tuning in from Dubai. And this brings us to the conclusion of another show. You want to wrap it up?
We close it. All right.
You got
All
this.
right, you guys, you know what to do. If you're listening to this podcast and you're relating to their stories, we just ask that you share it. We've been doing this podcast for about 5 years. We've brought some amazing couples on the show, and it's been really fun to see that all couples are kind of a shit show. But in a good way. So you guys, thank you so much for being on the show today. Look forward to getting to know more of your story. And you guys were great. You're super genuine and very real. And we really enjoyed our hour together. So you guys know what to do. Follow along. Check them out on social media. And we'll see you guys next week on another episode of the Day You Right podcast.